Okay, we're good. Okay, we're all
There you
good.
go.
So there's
Yeah, we
still
can go-
some people coming on. We'll give it a couple of minutes, but if you guys have any questions for Jason, ask away.
I want to wait
there-
to
I'm
not
hear
gonna ask-
everything and then I'll have
Yeah,
questions.
Oh,
there's
well,
no
let's
sense
just
in
start with
having questions.
where's everybody calling in from?
Houston?
Houston, Texas, the areas around it. Actually, when I started this call, I was in Sugarland. Then I went to Stafford. Now I'm in Houston.
Did you pass by Pearland?
No,
But that's a Texas accent. That's an East Coast accent.
mine.
Yeah, originally.
What?
You can't believe that I was born in Texas. You can't possibly be that stupid.
That's why I said that.
I'm gonna say Jersey.
Yeah, I was born in a foreign country.
Yeah,
It's called Brooklyn.
I figured that.
Brooklyn. All right, Brooklyn.
Who wasn't?
Yeah, but then I lived on Long Island, and then I moved to Jersey, and I went to Rutgers.
Yes, you got a little bit of all of it. From the concrete jungle.
Yes,
I think we all started in Brooklyn and went to Long Island and went somewhere else.
that's right. Well, my father moved here when I was at Rutgers, and suddenly I was a Texan, just like that. So
Sounds good. Alice, you think we should start?
Yeah, I think we should start for the respect
Yeah.
to everybody that was here on
Yes,
time.
I already sent out the emails to both my group and Kathy's group and
Okay.
my Spear Study Club. So
Okay, well, we'll record
cumulative, we
this.
have about 20 something people cumulative. So I don't
I'll
know who.
record this so we could always share it. And then if
Yeah,
you
that would
want to
be
do
great.
another one, or I could talk to them directly.
Okay, that would be great.
Okay, so Jason, you're on.
All right. Well, listen, I first of all appreciate everybody's time getting onto the Zoom tonight. I didn't really prepare a deck. I mean, it's good that we're on for those of you that are on a camera and we're able to see, but most of these calls are done really over a conference line. It's relatively simple what we do. Jorn's overall has done over 7,000 businesses for ERC credits, which seems like a lot because it is quite a few. Probably upwards of almost $5 billion now in relief funds. Businesses from all sizes for the 2020, any business under 100 W-2 employees could qualify. For 2021, it could be any business under 500. They expanded it. I'll explain to you a little bit about what the ERC really is. It's the third extension onto CARES Act. So for the COVID relief, CARES Act, which is 2.3 trillion. The first program was called PPP, which I'm sure many of you online applied for. Most businesses did, especially in the restaurant and hospitality industry, which is called payroll protection. That once that was absorbed, they then released a PPP2 as COVID continued to drag out with federal and state regulations and mandates. And then right after PPP2, that went even quicker than PPP1 because there was a certain allocated amount of funds. Became ERC or ERTC, sometimes it's called. And that stands for Employee Retention Tax Credits. And many people initially thought it was a tax credit, which it is a tax credit, but they didn't realize that you could actually receive the credit in the form of a check. And I would tell you that all of our clients, except for one that I know of, have received the check. We did have one client actually ask for a credit because they had, a lot of income. But you can choose either way. But again, most do receive the checks. Started off. What was that? Okay. So this third extent. Now, what happened here is I like to say a lot of people with ERC have either been uninformed, they don't know about the program, or they've been misinformed. Unfortunately, many CPAs or just friends, other business associates will simply say, "Well, you don't qualify." And sometimes I get a little bit agitated by that because, being uninformed or misinformed can certainly sometimes be worse than being uninformed. I like to say, when people ask me like, well, how come my CPA says they don't qualify? And a lot of times CPAs just haven't put the work in because they're busy doing the normal accounting activities for businesses. A lot of CPAs are overwhelmed right now. It's a hard position to staff for. And what happens is I like to look at it just like a specialist. Now, everyone in here mainly is a dentist. So, you have different aspects of being a dentist. You have dentists, you have orthodontists, you have specialties that you may send, you may do it all in-house or you send out to a specialist. And I like to look at ERC, this specific division is like a grant writing company. It's a specific division where we're specialists in ERC specifically, or in CARES Act specifically. We have 250 professionals that this is what they do. Tax attorneys, CPAs, document specialists, forensic accountants, auditors. They understand CARES Act inside and out. There's 200 plus pages of the ERC piece, over 1,000 pages with CARES Act. So it can become quite complex. With the front beginning of the program of ERC states, you could qualify for this benefit by either having a reduction in your gross receipts, which is your top line revenue, from 2019 to 2020 of 50% year over year. For 2021, from 19 to 21, it would be a 20% reduction in gross receipts. Now, I would tell you a lot of people stop right there and they go, well, based on the parameters, I don't qualify. And they don't do the proper due diligence. There's a lot of other ways you can qualify. And this is where we come in. And we really wanted to uncover and turn over every stone, because not only do we want to qualify you for these benefits that are available for small businesses, we also want to maximize the benefit that's available. So there's a total of 6 quarters that we're going to look to qualify you for. The first year, which is 2020, you can qualify for the second, third, and fourth quarter. The overall benefit for 2020 is $5,000 per W-2 employee. That's the maximum amount. Now, that doesn't mean you'll get the maximum, but that's the maximum amount. Now, it's basically 50% against wages that are paid in against $10,000 in wages. So that's where the 5,000 comes in. In 2021, that number was increased to 70% against 10,000 in wages. So it's $7,000 per W-2, and it was reset every quarter. So initially it was all 4 quarters of 2021. So it was 28,000 plus the 5,000 for 2020. So the initial program was 33,000 per employee. And what happened, and you may say, why is it 26 now? When the new infrastructure bill was put in place and approved, they eliminated the 4th quarter of the CARES Act ERC program. So there's only 3 quarters now available. So a lot of times people say, well, how long does this program last for? How do I, can it change? Once you've submitted and you've applied, you're in. But at any time, certainly any program can be pulled away. It can be discontinued, just like they discontinued that 4th quarter. So my attitude is always, if there's funds available for small business owners, and here's a key thing I want you to, basically, if you're taking notes, there's no restrictions on your money. So if you do qualify, there's no restrictions on how you spend them. You don't have to report any of it. And there's no repayment of the funds. So this is more like a government grant for COVID. That's how it's put in place. So it's a little bit different than PPP. It's a lot more complex than PPP. But we've qualified every dentist that has applied with us. We have been able to get approved. Now, maybe not all 6 quarters, but we do get them approved. Now, our process is relatively simple. We know you guys are busy running your business. We don't want to take away from you growing your business. So we want to make this as least time consuming as possible. So we have a simple checklist. And if I was prepared here, I would have had the document checklist up here. Adam, you may have it. So there's a 1-page document checklist that we'll assign you an account manager. The 1-page document specialist or document checklist will be your 941, 941s for 2021. We'll need your payroll records. Typically very easy to get from your payroll company. We'll need if you did apply for PPP, we'll need your PPP forgiveness. And that's just because we can't double dip on the same wages. So if you did use them against wages, we'll have to run against different wages. But we do have proprietary software that, again, is there to help maximize that benefit per employee. And then the last thing, which I believe is the most important part for all the business owners here, pretty much your office manager can handle most of those activities. But it's really important that you or someone that's really actively involved with your day-to-day does this next part, which is we have a questionnaire. And this questionnaire is about 15 to 20 minutes. And you really want to answer these questions in detail. And I say that because nobody knows your business and the challenges that you dealt with during COVID more than you. So we want to understand all the aspects of the challenges you dealt with. We want to understand, did you do trade shows? If you did, what trade shows did you do? You couldn't do those trade shows during this time period. So we certainly want to know that. Was there state restrictions? Was there travel restrictions? Was there federal restrictions specific to your market? Because every state is different. So the more information you can provide, you'll kind of give our qualification team, once it gets to them, a head start. So once you get all those documents in and submitted, typically about an hour total worth of work on your behalf or your office manager's behalf, our team then, it goes to our CPA qualification team. And typically, on average, you'll see about 14 days, 10 to 14 days, as long as there's no questions. Sometimes there's questions, and the team will reach back out to you or an office manager to get some clarification. And again, all this is in an effort to qualify you for as many quarters as possible, up to 6, and the maximum benefit, which is that $26,000 per employee. So what you want to basically do is look at the number of employees you have. You can multiply that. If you're under 100 employees times 26,000, that'll be the maximum benefit that is available to you. And then if you did get PPP1 or PPP2, we'll look at, some of that may get reduced against it. But what we do is once we actually go through that process, we'll then report back to you how many quarters you qualify for and how much you're going to receive for each one of those quarters. Then we'll prepare all of the documentation, all of the paperwork. We do a 941X. We'll send it over to you to sign. You'll sign it, send it back. It'll be reviewed again. It'll be double reviewed by the CEO of the company, Justin Jorns. He reviews it before they get stamped and then mailed off to the IRS. It'll also go with what we call a line 43, which is a full audit package. That is, if there ever was an audit, which will be a random selection, but if you were one of the randomly selected companies, we are going to defend all of the work that we do and match it up according to guidance. And there'll be a full write-up of all that. So you get an audit book. Then we were seeing about 9 months. Then I went down to 7 months, then down to 3 and 4 months. And Adam recently was telling you about one of his clients received their check in just under 8 months. I'm sorry, 8 weeks, 7.5 weeks, received their checks. And what'll happen is you'll get an individual check for each one of the quarters that you qualify for. There will be interest on that check as well. Once you receive those checks, you want to take a picture, send it to our team, want to notify us. We're going to verify all the checks are correct. Once we verify they're correct, that's when we're going to invoice you for our services. So we don't bill you until you actually get your money and deposit it from the Treasury Department. Our fee is 20% minus our deposit. There is a deposit when we first register your account, and that deposit's $2,600. That deposit is fully refundable. What that means is, for any reason whatsoever, if you don't qualify and you say, look, I'm just not going to submit, whatever it may be, we're going to send you back your documents. We're going to refund your $2,600. What that really is for more than anything is we want your buy-in and your cooperation that we're going to get the documents to obviously prepare for your account. If we don't get the documents from you, we're kind of like your CPA. Your CPA can't prepare your taxes unless you give them the information to actually do the preparation. Same thing. So that's applied against the 20%. We'll send you an invoice. You pay that. And then your funds, again, there's no restriction on how you spend your funds, and there's no repayment of funds because, again, it's a little bit different than the PPP program. So that really, in a nutshell, is really the program. We're going to do all the heavy lifting, match everything up to guidance, and look to maximize your benefit once we get all the documents. And the sooner you get us the documents, the sooner we can obviously get your account qualified and filed. Let's see, it's
Do we
October,
have to pay taxes on the funds that we receive?
Yeah, so this is very good question. So this is an amended filing. So it will be against taxes that you may have already had a benefit of in 2020 or 2021. So when we amend that filing for tax that you didn't pay, it would be what's called as an adjusted expense. And what we let you do there, because we don't know how much you're going to qualify for, what I like to say is we're going to give you a risk-free analysis to go through the process, and we'll be able to tell you exactly how much you're going to receive. At that point, when we do your 941s for you, you can certainly have yourself, your CPA, talk with the preparation department that actually qualified you, and then they can actually give you advice on how to properly submit for the taxes, whether you do it in the year when you receive the check or you amend back to the previous years. But that's going to be more tax attorney and how you're actually going to submit for the taxes for the 941X. Does anybody else have any other questions at all?
Any questions? Anybody want to ask anything?
Hello?
Yeah,
Yes.
ask away.
Can we get a list? Can we get a list of all the stuff we need to prepare again for you?
So,
Certainly.
yeah. So what
yeah, so-
happens is, Jason, sorry, Jason.
Yeah. So what's going to happen is we're going to send you a one-page document. We'll send everybody that's on the line here, and I can do this, or you know what, I can do this here. So what I can do is I'm going to post a link, and I'll also go and I'm going to post a link right now. And if you'd want, just go ahead and click on this link. And once you click on that link, it'll ask for your email address. Put your email address in there, and then you're going to get the engagement letter from HelloSign. You can go through that right now if you'd like. It's very, very simple. That's going to ask for your business name. It's going to then ask you if you have a DBA for your business name to put your business name, your DBA. It'll have you sign the agreement, and that's going to ask you to print your name. And then it'll take you to the deposit page where you can pay the deposit. That'll register you. So that's kind of step one. Now what I'll do is I'll share my screen in just a second here. I'm gonna pull up the what's called the required documents page. And I apologize here that I wasn't better prepared for this. So just bear with me for one moment.
I've also added the testimonial from Dr. Brent, who's a SmileSource dentist. He's a doctor who got his money in 7 weeks. It's a really good testimonial because he explains what he went through. So I sent that as well. And I'm going to send my email as well. So if you guys have any questions, you want to email me later, I'm available.
I have a couple questions.
Sure.
Do we as owners also get to count ourselves as an employee? Are we in that number?
That's a great question. And the answer to that is no.
Okay.
You're not allowed to count yourself or any immediate family members that are on W-2s.
Okay. And then second question, if the IRS comes back later and says, no, actually, you filed wrong, or we changed the rules or whatever, and says that they're taking back some of that money, are we still on the hook for the full 20% fee to you guys if they ever redact anything from that? I don't know if that's the right word, but I think, do you know what I'm asking?
Yes, and if any of that money was pulled back, yes, we would also refund that 20% that you had paid Jorns as well.
Okay.
That's a good question.
Okay, cool.
And I have the document here. I'm just, for whatever reason, not being able to. I
Okay,
see it.
so you're saying that the IRS could actually send you money and then want it back?
It's possible that they would. Well, they wouldn't just say, "Hey, give us back the money." They'd say, "Hey, look, we have a question, or we're going to audit this. We have a question on, the guidance." And then, first of all, our team would fully defend that. We give you a 5-year look back, and we give you an audit book. But we're going to personally, you probably wouldn't even hear from the IRS because we would do all that work for you, and we would show them, according to the guidance that's with the CARES Act and ERC. Here's how you qualified for this. So they may just have questions. But I'm very confident that if questions ever are, if they ever provide any questions saying, to challenging any of our work, we would be able to defend that work and show them exactly how you did qualify. But if they basically, if worse came to worse and they said, well, we just want this back, then yes, you'd have to basically pay them back, and we would pay back our 20% fee. Hey, Malcolm, can you help me real quick? I'm trying to get this to open. It's here in Google Drive, but why can't I open it in PDF?
Everyone, this is Malcolm, our genius IT person.
Yeah. Well, here I can show, I'd like to take this and just put it in the chat. And just copy that. They probably don't have access. How do I do that? All right, I'm gonna try just to pop it in the chat for you guys. Yep, I think that's all I just needed. I just needed somebody that was smarter than me with computers. All right, I think I got it. All right, let's see if this works.
I probably have it somewhere, but I don't know where it is.
The link that you sent us, okay, I started to fill it out while I was listening. And it looks like we're committing to it right now. Is that correct?
The link that I sent you, yeah. So basically, that's basically a registration document for you to register. You can print that. All it's gonna, I mean, again, you can go through it. We can go through it here on the line. But it's basically telling you again is, you know, we're charging you a $2,600 fully refundable deposit. You're registering. There's 7 pages there. It's also telling you we're going to protect you if there ever is an audit. Tells you how we're going to prepare the 941X forms for you. And if for any reason, if you didn't qualify, we're going to fully refund your deposit. If you do qualify, once you get your money from the IRS, we're then going to bill you minus the $2,600 for our 20% contingency fee.
And what
Okay.
kind of documents do you need from us?
So I just posted
Like
and if you check the
Yeah,
link,
wait,
yep, so if you open that, that's going to go
yeah, I
through
checked the
here.
link. I didn't see a list of documents that you need.
Would you pull that up, Adam?
Yeah, I'm doing it right now. Let me see if I
You
can
can
get.
pull that up and just share it with the screen.
Yeah. Here they are.
Okay. Yep. So what you see here is you see your quarterly 941 tax filings for Q1, 2, 3, and 4 for 2020. Q1, 2, and 3. You see me scrolling through. It's just a checklist. And again, these should be documents that you should have. If you did get PPP1 or PPP2, you want to send both of those forgiveness applications, which would be 1-pagers. You should have them more. Should have something that showed you you're forgiven. We'll need your quarterlies for your taxes, your 941s, P&L, and statements in Excel format. And then you'll see that complete client questionnaire. There's a link there. It says click here. You click that, it'll actually open up a questionnaire for you that you can fill it all out electronically. And that's where, again, all the other documents you can, pretty much call your payroll or call, they'll have all those documents. The questionnaire is really where you want to spend 15, 20 minutes and really be as detailed as you can with each one of the questions. And once you have all that done, for the most part, unless there's any questions from our qualification CPAs, you'll just, you're pretty much done until we're going to come back to you and give you your numbers and your qualifications.
I personally have referred over 100 companies. Again, as low as 58 and numbers high in the 6 figures. A lot of dentists, a lot of SmileSource dentists. So, I mean, it's really a win-win, because if you don't qualify, you get your money back. You do qualify, you get that, and these guys stand behind their work.
It'd be great, Adam, if you can just play that testimony from the last dentist that you had.
Yeah, I sent it to everybody, so
yeah,
it's in the thing if everybody.
Yeah, so if you guys watch that testimonial, it's a great testimonial. And personally, that's how our team, we have an incredible professional team. They really pride themselves on, it's very rewarding being able to help businesses that, one, don't know about these funds, or again, as I said, we're misinformed. I would say 9 out of 10 clients that tell us their CPA told them they didn't qualify, we actually do qualify, because there's, again, a lot more parameters inside where you look at specific sectors of your business that were down, a lot of areas where you can qualify with guidance. So they're thankful that they're getting this money that's available. And again, I like to look at it as we're giving you a risk-free evaluation to know exactly where you're going to be. And if you didn't qualify, we'll tell you don't qualify, and And at the end, at least you know you went to a specialist that you know you're not going to qualify. But I
We
would
had a
say that-
dentist, we had a SmileSource dentist from Chicago. I don't know if you remember, Jason, a woman. She backed out of the Zoom call, and then we got her on with the accountant, and the accountant was adamant she didn't qualify. And then she went through the process. She qualified for almost $300,000. And he turned to Jason and said, "I'm sorry, I really didn't know much about this." So,
and personally, as dentists, I mean, wouldn't you rather have your CPA say, look, we don't specialize in this, but you should look into it, versus telling you you absolutely don't qualify? You know, and again, you guys being in the professions you are, I'm sure you refer different cases off to a specialist. So somebody's dog's hungry, or maybe he has to go potty.
so we have 3.5 minutes left on Zoom. Any other questions? I have my email on there. Is there anything else you guys want to ask? I don't want it to cut off and people have a question.
Yeah, so, you know, and you guys, if anybody has questions, you should have Adam's number. If not, you know, I can also leave my number. You guys are welcome just to, you can always text me, or I can send my email here. I don't know where the chat went. Here you go. I can give you my email.
Adam, I just got several texts from a few people that said they couldn't get on. Some are still working and some are out
Well,
of
we
town.
could do another one. We could do
So
another
no,
one.
can you send us a link to this report so they can?
Yeah,
into it?
100%. I'm gonna put it together and I'll send it to Alice and you send it out.
Okay.
Excellent. And then I'm always available to do a Zoom call or a call, because I'm on the phone all the time. Besides, my wife and I are running our dental office. I'm doing this on the side, so I'm always on the phone with this.
Okay.
So lastly, I would just say, you know, we get, and Adam does now because of all the success stories, you get so much referral business. And I say that's how our team really, you know, quantifies what they've done, that they did a good job. Is, you know, when you're willing to refer a friend, a family member, or a business associate, you know, for us, that's the ultimate, you know, pat on the back that says, you know what, these guys did a really great job for us. And I can tell you that's pretty much how all of our business is. It's from referrals from happy clients that have received their ERC checks.
So, because I'm watching the timer on my phone. We have about 1:30, 1:40 left. And then again, my email's on there. I'm gonna send Alice the video again. And if you want it, my email's on there, my phone number, send me an email, send me a text. I'll call you guys this week. And we could always set up a private call between you and Jason as well, which we do a lot, because sometimes people have questions. They only want to speak with Jason. That's no problem. There's, you know, we all know from what we do, there's always private questions, but I always say to people, take advantages now before it runs out, because it's going to run out. It's going to be ending in a year or so, if not sooner. So,
All right. Any last questions here before we get cut off?
no, I guess we have 40 seconds left. So Alice, thank you so much. I'm going to put the video. I'll make sure it's perfect. I'll send you all the info. And then if anybody wants to talk to me and then Jason, I will take care of that.
Yep. And once you get registered, if you get registered, we'll send you an email with an account manager, and the account manager will schedule a call with you just to make sure that you or your office manager has somebody to communicate with if you have any questions on the documents.
Great, thank you so much.
Everybody?
Thank you so much.
All right.
All right,
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, guys.
Have a great
I'll
evening.
be in touch with everybody. Jason, I'll speak
Bye
to you
now.
later.
You got it.
Bye, everybody. Have a great day.
Bye.
So it's just gonna be me and you in there.
No,
Yeah.
they did not get on. I don't know.